reasons a man will disappear on you. First off, put a emoji hand or say I down in the chat if you've ever had a man disappear on you. Like truly, like whether it was ghosting, whether it was telling you, hey, I need to fall back, and then boom, he off the face of the earth. But everything before that point was y'all getting close, y'all clicking. You did nothing to trigger, or to your knowledge, you did nothing to set him off, do him wrong. Everything was cool. Y'all were sharing laughs. Y'all were sharing affection. He was making time. Like everything lined up that this guy was enjoying what you guys were building, enjoying the company that you guys share with each other just as much as you were. But then boom, he disappeared. Put I down in the chat if you're real enough to admit that that's ever happened to you. So let me say this. If you like my Self-Crown Inner Circle member here, by the way, okay, let me back up. I'm prepping for our live chat that we're going to do right after we get off here. I do a live chat every week with my Self-Crown Inner Circle. And I'm looking at some of the comments because that's what I want to answer. And this young lady actually asked, like, what is it? Outside of a man being a monster, what is it that will make a man fall back? I'm going to tell y'all, there's 5 reasons. There's one more than any other. Let's start with the least common and work up to the most. The first reason is because you've pushed him at some point in the relationship. You've pushed him, but he hasn't accepted the ending of the relationship. He hasn't accepted that he's reached his threshold. He's reached his limit. He can't fight no more. He can't try no more. Now, this is the least common reason, but it does happen. The reason why it's the least common is because typically it's a woman that's going to fight tooth and nail to the bitter end. Rarely will you even come across a guy these days that's either done the work to fully heal from whatever they've been through or never been through anything. And when a man has been through anything, y'all know we get hurt in 5th grade and we never want to be committed ever again. A lot of guys are 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So if the relationship hits a rocky road, a rocky patch, most guys are not going to fight like that. Well, when a guy is all in, he's trying everything and it's really over with, a lot of guys have a really difficult time continuing to express and communicate because it just opens them up to hurt they don't know if they could take any more of. So that's one reason that he may disappear, whether physically or he just completely just kind of stonewall out of the relationship. You just like he's checked out basically. Another reason why is because he's ashamed of something that he doesn't have or he no longer is. Like if you came into the relationship saying, I need a provider, maybe he had his money on good. You know, he was able to provide and give you things and do things, and now he can't. Now he don't got it. He's not there anymore for whatever reason. A man who's ashamed to, again, verbalize that, because once you say it, it's real, he may shut down. He may disappear. He may let you know before he disappears, but disappear nonetheless. And he doesn't want to say what it is because, of course, like there's probably, you know, pride, ego, no coming back from that. Just shame. At the end of the day, just shame. Anyway, another reason why a guy may just up and disappear on you, and it's similar to this: stress, overwhelm, and you not yet be in that space that he just knows is not going to judge him, that he knows is safe. Now, a lot of y'all probably thinking, well, you know, I am safe. I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to look down on him or anything like that. But you got to understand, you as a compassionate, understanding, safe woman do not represent all women. There's a lot of women out there who are very vocal about the fact that once they saw their man express any type of weakness, any type of emotion, it changed the way that they saw them. Maybe not you, but if y'all are brand new, this is especially for those of y'all who are first like 2-3 months of dating a guy. If he experiences a really, really tough time, he may not want to express and let you in on that because he doesn't know how you're going to react, how you're going to see him. And he probably doesn't even want to accept that he can't handle it himself. Now, we're going into the more common reasons why. Another reason why a guy may shut down on you is because he has an avoidant attachment style. Now, this, again, more common than the others. Avoidant attachment style, basically in childhood, that's the way that he was able to self-soothe and regulate. He was left alone with his emotions. Even if he had 2 parents, even if he had a loving mom or a loving dad, if they were not attuned to his needs, as a child, he learned as a survival mechanism to shut down, be quiet, go inward. That way he wouldn't depend on people who let him down and weren't there for him. And you especially see this in guys who were raised in single parent households, single dad or single mom. So if he has an avoidant attachment style and he never healed that, he never dealt with that, in adulthood, he's going to withdraw. Any type of issue. It ain't even got to be that dramatic or whatever. He just may shut down, go away, disappear, et cetera, et cetera. Somebody died, he don't want to tell you somebody died. You know, again, money or health issues or whatever. You offended him, he might just withdraw and shut down. Very frustrating to try to love somebody like that, but I'm just giving you the real. All right. Something that happens, probably even more common than that, is he's been hurt by something you've done, but he's ashamed to admit it. This is another form of a guy wanting to hide any chink in his armor. So let's give an example. Let's say you guys are dating. You both agreed to not be exclusive right now. You said, oh, it's going to be 3 months before either of us feel comfortable being exclusive. We dating other people. But them feelings, they develop a little faster. Then that commitment comes and he sees that you're out, or he sees that you're kicking, or he gets the notion that you are with another man. He's ashamed that he feels the way that he feels about you prematurely, that he ain't able to stand on business. So as a result, instead of saying to you, hey, honestly, I know we said this, but I'm feeling like that, he just falls back, disappears, basically tries to suffocate the emotion, suffocate the attachment out of him so he can get back into whatever detached agreement that y'all got going on. So if you hurt him in that way, it don't mean that you bad or that you did something wrong. If you say something to him, it don't mean that you did something wrong. He may be trying to investigate and audit himself to see, why do I care so much? Why does this hurt? And again, because he's not safe yet to be all vulnerable and less than a Superman, he may not want to say anything, and therefore he may disappear, whether physically, like actually disappear, or let you know, hey, don't expect to hear from me as much. Give you some BS reason that don't sit right with your spirit, and that ain't the real reason why he fell back. Now, another reason why this man may all of a sudden disappear, much more common. This is the second most common reason. Punishment. He's not ashamed necessarily of something you've done that's hurt him. He's more so letting you know, don't play with him. Like he's going to weaponize his absence now to teach you a lesson. You hurt me, I'm going to punish you for bad behavior. Believe it or not, there's a lot of guys who feel like they should be disciplining the women that they're with. You do something wrong, they got to give you a recourse so that you learn that way. Of course, this is totally immature, totally egotistical, maybe even narcissistic, manipulative, the whole nine. But there are a lot of guys who will try to punish you with the removal of whatever love and affection. Very traumatizing if you are deeply in love with this person. And you'll see this actually in parenting with kids who grow up to do this kind of thing. And they create these perfectionism type of kids because you're afraid of criticism. And again, that child grows up and does the exact same thing. No matter the reason why, I don't care what the diagnosis is from the lady that he got to go talk to. If a man does this, you understand it's not safe for you to be there. If he can't come to you and communicate and say, hey, you pissed me off or you angered me or whatever it is, and then give you the opportunity to decide whether or not you want to continue on with him, he's not a safe person to love. It don't make him unsafe just because he's pissed off. You may have done some messed up stuff. You may have said something or in a way that was wrong. But if his recourse is to sabotage or to hurt you or to break you down, you need to leave that situation. Now, the most common reason in today's dating market why a guy would disappear or go ghost, especially if he's not doing it permanently. Now, you have guys who go ghost permanently. You never hear from them again. But if he went ghost and then came back or went ghost or just kind of sort of told you, thirst checking you. He's thirst checking you. And I've talked about this before. Matter of fact, my new book just came in, From Heartache to Happiness. I talked about it in here. I think it's chapter 47. But thirst checking is essentially when a guy wants to try to scan for any type of voids that you may have, weaknesses, insecurities that you may have, unhealed abandonment wounds that you may have, anything like that, to see if you're now going to start chasing him. To try to poke at you, pull those strings. Like, let me see if I can activate the thirst within her, the desperation within her, for me not to fall back, for me not to be cold to her or whatever. So again, maybe he physically ghosted you, or maybe he fell off, maybe he disappeared in terms of the man that he first presented himself as. He had all the time and energy and capacity in the world, but now, all of a sudden, he has none. He's totally not just busy, but he ain't answering the phone, he ain't texting back, he don't want to go on dates. He's likely thirst checking you. That's a way to say, let me see how hard she'll go to try and resolve conflict against my unwillingness to resolve any potential conflict, which probably ain't even no conflict. Let me see what she'll do to try to process of elimination anything that she could be doing to push me away. Let me see how many hoops she'll jump through. That's what thirst checking is. Let me see how many hoops she'll jump through. Let me see what length she'll go. Let me see how many times she'll ask me and beg me to see what's going on. Because from that, I'll know just how much power I have over her in future situations where I'm uncomfortable and I don't want to humble myself to compromise. This tells me if the amount that she is desperate is correlative to how little I need to be an equal in this relationship. I can be superior directly related to how desperate she is to keep me from leaving permanently. If there's clearly a chance. The book, From Heartache to Happiness, this is the big brother advice you never knew you needed. It's not going to be out for like another 6 months to the public. But it's already out now to my Self-Count Inner Circle members. That's why we're getting ready to talk about it. So if you have not yet, again, it comes included with being a member of the Self-Count Inner Circle. If you want that link, type enroll. Enrollment is open. I'll send you a link so you can enroll. And we're going to do a live chat right after I'm done here. We're about to do another live chat where I'm going to answer all their questions live that they've had throughout the week. Again, just type enroll, or if you're on Facebook, hit the link that you see in the caption or the comments or whatever. If you want to get in for the live chat after this, and if you want access to the book, that's included. Ebook and audiobook, that's included. Anyway, back to what I was saying. If a guy disappears on you, he may be a monster. He may be a narc. He may be all of that kind of stuff. But a lot of women misunderstand the emotional responses of a man because a lot of men don't even understand the emotional responses of a man. A lot of men don't understand what they're going through, what they're dealing with. A lot of men have been primed to be so functional. You know, people typically just gauge a man by whether or not he's doing what he's supposed to do, as opposed to whether or not that man is okay. So sometimes a man, he's not this monster, he's not this bad person, but he's always had to figure himself out for himself. And if he ever reached out for help, he was probably beat down even further. So you'll have a lot of guys who have a very difficult time functioning in relationships. Now, is that your problem? No, don't have to be anyway. If you've gotten invested, this man has set you up to expect a certain level of presence and he ain't able to keep that up, you have every right to protect yourself. And I say you should. But if that man disappears on you, and you see that it's hurting you and breaking you down and making you less of who you are, or giving you less ability to love him, love yourself, etc., at the end of the day, it's not safe for you to love that man. His hands may not be big enough to hold your heart and keep it safe. And therefore, you got to remove yourself now. Whether you want to disappear, you want to let him know, that's your business. I personally believe you ain't got to give nobody a 2 weeks notice if you're going to leave their life for something they should have known better than to be doing in the first place. But those are just my thoughts. I'm your big brother trying to look out, per usual. If you got something of value from this, definitely hit the share button so you can bless somebody else on your timeline who may need to hear this message. And again, if you want to get into Self-Count Inner Circle, we're about to go live right after this to talk more about thirst checking, which again is on chapter 47 for those who are watching that are in the inner circle. We're getting ready to talk about it right after this. So enroll, just type enroll. I'll send you the link, or hit the link if you're on Facebook or whatever that you see.